Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, y'all. In today's video, I want to talk about Volkanovski versus Lopes 2. Now, this fight right here, this second fight, I shouldn't even say second fight, rematch, is going to be very interesting, and I feel like it will be different. I'm not going to lie. Now, I'm going to just keep it a bean. I feel like the UFC is really just trying to sacrifice Alexander Volkanovski. Now, the reason why I feel like they're trying to sacrifice him with this fight, because they know that he is getting older now, that Diego Lopes already has experience fighting him, and that Diego Lopes has the power to put Volk out, which is the truth. But I feel like if Volk fights really smart like he did during the first fight, that will not happen. What I will say is I feel like Lopes will come into this fight a lot smarter. He's most likely fixed a lot of the mistakes that he has made. And might add, I've seen his last fight when he fought against Gene Silva versus Diego Lopes. And I don't know if I made a video on that fight or not, but my pick was Diego Lopes, and I got the pick right. I knew, just what he has as his style was going to be able to beat Gene Silva. I want to talk about the strengths between both men during this fight. Now, the strengths for Alexander Volkanovski, number one, he's the more technical striker. He's the more skilled striker. He has the better fight IQ. He has the more experience, and he's definitely stronger than anybody in this division. We've seen him against Islam, and even Islam said that he may be short, but he's very strong. So I don't see any chances of Diego Lopes submitting him if Islam couldn't submit him. When it comes to footwork, too, he has very good feet in the ring. I'm not even going to lie. His footwork it's pretty decent, solid. Only thing I would say he really lacks on is his boxing defense, but that's most UFC fighters, in my personal opinion. A lot of UFC fighters don't even really throw a jab the right way without protecting their face. Majority of the times they throw a jab and they leave their right hand or left hand down. Something I feel like he could definitely fix up on. I'm not going to talk about his weaknesses now, but now I want to talk about Diego Lopes's, all of his strengths and what he can do to be able to win this fight. So I feel like for Diego Lopes, the best thing that he could do is to throw more kicks instead of trying to box and trying to fight with Alexander Volkanovski, because Alexander Volkanovski is the more technical striker. Now, yes, Diego Lopes is a good striker. He's not trash, but sometimes he gets into dogfights, and when you get into a dogfight with Volkanovski, you're not going to win. I don't care. The only way you're winning is by a lucky punch. And yes, that could happen. He could possibly knock out Volk with a lucky punch, but outside of that, no. You have to throw more low kicks, high kicks, and axe kicks. And if he does that, he will be able to keep Volkanovski from being able to reset all the time. And, we've seen beforehand of other people using that game plan, and it works. So after he does that, then he can start mixing it in with his kicks. I didn't mean to say kicks, his punches. He can mix up his kicks with his punches, and he can start getting the momentum during the fight. And I feel like that's a way where he could win. He can't win by submission. There's no way he's out-grappling Volkanovski. Volkanovski is too strong. And, like I said, the only way he's winning this fight is by either TKO or KO. For example, as y'all see in this clip right here, this is the picture when Volk had caught him with that left hook and did that, I forgot what it's called again in boxing. I be doing it myself, where it's not a feet shuffle. Yeah, I say it's kind of like a feet shuffle where you reset your feet, where you take like a double step, boom, boom. I wish I could show y'all on camera exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, when it comes down to that, Volk can get him in that. So now I want to talk about Volkanovski's weaknesses. Kicks. If you throw kicks on Volk, he won't be able to reset his momentum and his rhythm and be able to catch you as much. Another thing, too, that I could see as his weakness is being able to get him to back up to the fence, because even during his last fight against Lopes, he got caught up backing up, and he did get dropped during the fight. But as we know, he was able to win by unanimous decision. If you're able to back up Volkanovski to the edge of the corner of the ring, hey, man, you got him. Honestly, I could see Diego Lopes maybe coming in with a game plan like that, throwing low kicks, throwing body kicks, trying to back him up, setting him up with the jab, maybe trying to set him up with an uppercut, maybe a right hand, because I'm pretty sure when they last fought, it was a right hand that had dropped Volk. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, those are the ways I feel like Diego Lopes may be able to beat Alexander Volkanovski. Now, let's talk about the weaknesses of Diego Lopes. Diego Lopes, one thing I'll say he's not very good at is moving his head. His defense isn't the best, I'll say. Like, he keeps his hands up 100%, but sometimes he kind of, drops them. And I feel like if he does do it against Volk, I'm not saying Volk can't TKO him. I'll say he can TKO him. I don't think Volk can knock Diego Lopes out. But what I will say is that I feel like the best strategy for Volkanovski is to, use his low kicks, use his kicks, use his boxing, use feints, trick Lopes into a dogfight. And, maybe like, for example, he could throw feint, throw a jab, throw a feint, throw a low kick, and then throw a right hand, and then just pivot out the way. Say pivot, I mean pivoting off the front foot, like slip, right hand, boom, pivot. Now, like I was saying beforehand with both of these men with this fight, I feel like with Volk, like I said, I feel like he could outpoint to be able to beat Diego Lopes by decision. And that's up to Lopes, depending on the way how he decides he wants to fight this time. If he goes in there like he did the last time, which I don't think he will be doing that, he will definitely lose. He will 100% lose again. But if he goes in there with a smarter game plan, sticks to a game plan, actually tries to not have too much of a dogfight, tries to be a little bit more technical, he could get the finish. Or if he doesn't get the finish, at least win by decision, But yeah, and the reason why I see what the UFC is doing with him, they want him to become a champion, is because of the fact that I feel like they're trying to connect with the Mexican fans. Because they already got Brazilians, Brazilian champion. We got one right now. Former Brazilian champions that we all see, we all love as the fans. But we haven't had a Mexican champion in a long, long time, now that I think about it. I don't know, don't quote me on this. No, I believe I was about to say Henry Cejudo, but I believe Alex Grueso is the last Mexican champion that we've had in the UFC. But in men-wise, I'm pretty sure Henry Cejudo is the only one. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think we had more in the past, but just the most recent ones. He's the last one. And outside of him, there really hasn't been nobody else. And same thing like how we seen during the Patty fight. I'm so glad that Gaethje won that fight. And honestly, I want the same thing for Volk, because this fight, I understand why they want to do it, because it's fireworks. And they don't want to give a title shot to Mozart, because Mozart did pull out his last fight and a couple other fights too. To me, it just really doesn't make sense why Lerone Murphy or somebody else can't get the title shot, in my personal opinion. This is the last thing I did want to speak about on that. Even though I understand that Lerone Murphy fought a dude that just got into the UFC, the thing is, though, Aaron Pico was going to get a title shot if he would have beat Mozart. So that's why, to me, it just genuinely doesn't make sense. But like I said, at the end of the day, it makes sense. It's the UFC. They can do whatever they want to do. They're only really looking for what can make them the most money. And this is a money fight as far as what I can see. Because at the end of the day, Volk doesn't really need this fight. He doesn't even need to fight in general. He's just doing it for the love of the game. And I respect it, honestly. I 100% respect it. Because in my personal opinion, me as a fighter, if I was making money every single time I went into the ring to spar, trust and believe, I'd be sparring. Let's just say if I was making $100,000 or $1 million plus, brother, man, I would be sparring for the love of the game. I would literally be in the ring for the love of the game. And that's something I have definitely thought about before. I'm definitely going to be talking about more fights. I'm trying to release as many videos as I possibly can, because I didn't even realize that this fight was even going to be happening this weekend. I thought this fight wasn't going to be happening until this following weekend. But I don't know when y'all going to see this video. I'm recording it right now, Wednesday, at work, on the grind. Got to get back on it. I've been trying with my YouTube content, been trying to really stay consistent with it, y'all, I know I'm getting either old viewers or new viewers who are watching this. And, I just want to say, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, show love to it, show your family, And that's all I really wanted to say about this, At the end of the day, this fight card is actually going to be good. I can't wait to watch it, in my personal opinion. The main event isn't, or I'll just say in general, the card is just not as stacked as the last card was, UFC 324. But I'm not tripping. We haven't had a UFC card in over 6 weeks. And man, this fight card is definitely going to be enjoyable. I'm going to definitely enjoy all the fights. I'll be at work when the prelims start, but trust and believe, y'all, I'm going to watch it, but I think I gave my pick. I'm picking Volkanovski for this fight. I think that Diego Lopes still has a knockout chance, because at the end of the day, a fight is a fight. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about what I was talking about in this video, the topics, my points. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.